Diamonds in the rough. NFL Draft Diamonds. Time to shine.
Hi, I'm Jimmy Williams with NFL Draft Diamonds, and today I have with me Zac Thomas, who's a quarterback out of Appalachian State. How you doing, man?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, man. Why don't you go ahead, just tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell me where you're from.
I'm from Trussville, Alabama. It's a small suburb right outside of Birmingham, Alabama.
Cool. And obviously you're a quarterback there at Appalachian State. Tell me how you got there. Tell me about that whole process.
Yeah, so, growing up, I always loved football. I'd sit there all the time and watch college football just like every other kid does. And so starting Pee Wee football, played my first year of Pee Wee football. I absolutely hated football because my dad was the head coach, and anyone that has a dad that's a head coach knows how that goes. And so I hated it, and I quit football until about seventh grade year. And, growing up, I played all three sports, which was football, baseball, and basketball. And I continued that throughout. And then eighth grade was really the first time that I got a little loving for football, and that's when everything started to kind of go my way and everything. So, I went into high school. I was excited just to, be able to play any sport, honestly. And so, I played football and played baseball and basketball throughout high school until my junior year. And that's when I kind of started narrowing down on football. And that's when, I started focusing more on camps and how to make myself a better quarterback, because that's when I really got the loving for football, and I knew that I could advance myself in college and play college somewhere. I always believed in myself, but you got to have people believe in you too. And so I started getting some offers from places, and in my high school here at Trussville, we came from a bigger school. And so on my team, I had 9 guys sign college football my senior year. And so we were kind of a hot spot for prospects. And so that happened. And, senior year, I had an unfortunate event. I broke my leg my senior year. And so at that point, all my scholarships had gotten taken away, and Jacksonville State offered me again. And so I committed there, was going to sign Jacksonville State, and there's always something in me that knew that I could play, and I wanted to play somewhere bigger. And so, App State had a quarterback leave, Zeb Nolan. He went to Iowa State. And so when that happened, Coach Ponce, which was the quarterback coach at that point, came down, and we did an in-home visit, and I loved him. It's probably the best decision I ever made.
Great. So, obviously now you've been a starter for a little bit there, at least 2, maybe 3 years, right?
Yes, sir. 3
Okay.
years.
So 3-year starter, you played over 35, maybe I think it's like 38 games that you played total. Appalachian State's really one of those, places that you guys win ball games. This year was, no different. Obviously there was another, school that ended up taking the title this go around, but those are the breaks, unfortunately. But let's just kind of, again, just kind of chat about you and really what you bring to the table. Talk to me about you as a quarterback. Do you see yourself as old school drop back passer? Are you a mobile guy? How would you describe yourself to all those scouts out there?
Yeah, I've always prided myself in being a dual threat quarterback throughout high school, and then now in college. It puts a different kind of pressure on a team, on a defense, when you can extend the play with your legs. And I kind of always prided myself in that. And there's been many times where being the quarterback, you drop back and you don't see something you like, and they got everything covered, and you take off and you gain 10 yards, and that's just a backbreaker to a defense. And I've always prided myself on is trying to be the best quarterback, drop back passer I can be, but also when the time comes and I need to make plays with my legs, that's when I would do that. And so, I always did that, and I think that's one of my strong suits is just extending plays and extending drives. And at the end of the day, that's what a quarterback's job is to do.
Right. So obviously you are, a bit of a mobile quarterback. I mean, we kind of expect you to do that. I mean, and the way that the game is run these days with all these RPOs, I mean, you definitely have to, have the legs in order to take off occasionally. But with all of what you bring to the table, all your attributes and experience, what do you think is like the best thing, maybe one of your best characteristics as a player?
Yeah, I mean, I think my best characteristic is that I'm a competitor, and I've kind of been that way throughout high school, and then getting in college. I mean, nothing's given to you in your life, and you gotta compete to make everything that you want in life to happen. And so I knew as soon as I got to App that I was going to have to compete my butt off to get where I knew I could be in the interim goals, and that was to be started quarterback at Appalachain State. So, when I got here, I set all my dreams and aspirations down, and I put them down on a piece of paper. And I knew that it wasn't going to be easy. I knew it was going to be a tough road. I knew every day that I was just going to have to put my head down and compete my butt off and just go out there and um, try to win everyone over and just be the best. At the end of the day, be the best quarterback I can be, and at the end of the day, be the best person I can be.
Gotcha. Next, really next question I have for you is, as the quarterback, I mean, most guys really just kind of give you that, label as a team leader. And I mean, I know that you've been a captain for a little bit there. Do you see yourself as a leader on the football field? I mean, what kind of a leader are you? I mean, what kind of guy would, you'd be getting at the next level?
Yeah, this year, I mean, every year that I was starting, I'm not sure. I'm not the biggest vocal guy on the field. I always pride myself in um, coming from where I was, just put my head down and working and let my actions speak louder than words. And, that's something that my dad has always told me. And so that's always something that I've just prided myself in. And, I'm not your hoorah guy that's going to stand up and try to get you pumped up, but I promise you the actions that I put out on the field and in practice and in the weight room and in the film room and everything that goes into being the best football player you can be, those actions that I do for that will speak louder than any words that I can ever um, give you. And so, that's something that I've always prided myself on, being a competitor. And so that's just something that I've always done.
Gotcha. So if you're not the rah rah guy, who is the rah rah guy there for the Mountaineers?
This year was Eliza Dare Stuber. He's one
All
of our
right.
D linemen, and he was our raw guy this year.
Nice, nice. Um, so my next question really just kind of leads us into the film room. I mean, can you give me maybe an example of when you were studying film and how that really helped you, on the football field? I mean, give me an example of how you studied and it really paid off in a game time situation.
Yeah, I always pride myself in, and as a quarterback, you got to do this because you got to be expecting everything that a defense can throw at you. And so I always prided myself in and watching film by myself, watching it with the quarterbacks, whether that was before practice, after practice. We always pride ourselves in as a position group to watch as much film as we could. And so, there's been a couple instances that's happened, but, one that stands out to me, we were playing a team and, you know, it was a 5-man protection, and running back was out in the flat real quick, and so our center had called a protection, and he slid it. In my mind, that I thought he slid the wrong way, and so throughout that week of practice, we knew that they liked this blitz on third downs, and so I'd been watching those film, and I took in every note that I could possibly take in, and it was the exact same look on film that we were getting in the game. And so I basically said easy to the line. I made a call to a different side of the line, and they moved it to they actually moved it to the different side of the field, and basically the lineman slid right into the blitz, and we picked it up and we threw a touchdown. And so that was probably my favorite moment. Like basically just in that, just from where I knew that all the film that I had watched had paid off, and I made that correction, and it ended up working out for us.
Cool. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, obviously, as time goes on, I mean, you're going to have more and more of those moments because, I mean, you just continually study your opponent and they do play and they do pay off, in the end. So, so Zach, I was going to ask you, let's just go ahead into your game day. I mean, what's your game day look like? I mean, is there any ritualistic thing you got to do to get yourself ready, psyched up, and ready to play?
Yeah, absolutely. So whether we're playing early or we're playing late at night, whether that's on whatever day we're playing on, we get up early and eat breakfast, come back to the room, um, relax, watch some football, whether that's watching football or watching a movie or something like that. And so we'll take showers, and then you know I've always I always like to be loose and relaxed before games. I don't like to get tense any way possible. And so, something that I was doing since I've been starting here at App, I'd have a couple players into my room and we listen to the chain smokers, and we just kind of relax, let all the emotions leave, and we just kind of sing along, have a good time. And then at that point, after those songs were over, man, we'd be ready to go downstairs and to do our walkthrough. So it was basically just a time for us to relax, forget about everything that was going on in that instance. Um, just make yourself feel loose and then go out and attack the day.
Great. So I know you've actually had a lot of great moments on the field. Some championships, some bowl games. Give me maybe one of those examples of one of those games that really just kind of stands out for you. Maybe one of your best highlights.
Yeah, my favorite game being here at App State was a Penn State game. I think it was 2018. It was my first year starting. A lot of people had doubt in me as a quarterback, whether that was on the coaching staff or that was with players or that was with any fans that because I came in trying to replace a 4-year starter, Taylor Lamb, and those are tough shoes to fill. And so that first game, we took Penn State into overtime. Obviously, it wasn't the outcome that we wanted. And we just wanted, obviously we wanted to win the game, but, we took it into overtime. And at that point, I gained a lot of respect from players, fans, really coaches, anything that was involved with App State. I gained a lot of respect. And to me, that was my favorite game just because I knew all along that's what I could do as a college quarterback. And just to be able to do that and to put myself out there on a national stage and do that was just awesome.
Great. So, kind of along those same lines, I mean, you faced a lot of great opponents over the years. I mean, is there maybe one guy that you faced, on the other side of the field that really just gained your respect? I mean, talk to me maybe about like maybe one of the best players you ever faced.
Yeah, and actually, this year, with the crazy year that we had to deal with COVID and everything like that, we played a lot of special players here at App. But I will tell you, the one person that sticks out to me the most was this year we're playing Marshall, and their linebacker, number 4, I think his name's Tavante. Um, you know, watching film that week, you kind of knew that this kid was going to be a good player. And, we game planned for him as much as we could because on film, you could see he was flying around, making plays everywhere. And we got into that game, and nothing that we could have done that week could have helped us stop him. Just his IQ for football and everything. He always gave 100% anything he did. And then, he was a great player. He was probably one of the best linebackers that we had played against while I've been here at App. And, he won Defense Player of the Year this year for Conference USA, and outright he deserved it. That was one of the best players that I played against.
Gotcha. And kind of along those same lines, I mean, you had a lot of great teammates over the years, some of which have actually gone on to get drafted into the NFL. But who's maybe one or two guys there at App State that's really just kind of gained your respect over the years that has been so impressive for you?
Yeah, I got a couple that I could definitely state, and I can tell you two right off the top of my head, and one's Darrington Evans. Our running back last year got drafted to the Tennessee Titans. He had to wait his turn to get the plays that he wanted to get, and when he got the opportunity to play, he lit the scene, and he did exactly that last year. And he got drafted in the 3rd round, and outright so, because he was one of the best players that I've ever played against. And then the other one that stands out to the top of my head is Shamar Jean Charles. We came in 2016 together, me, him, and Darrington, and obviously our whole recruiting class. But those two guys, from the day that we walked on campus, you knew that they were going to compete Shamar didn't get the things to go his way. He always had some people that were in front of him that were older guys that knew more than he did in the system that we were running. So, he didn't get the opportunities that he wished he would have got. And so, he prepared every day like he was the starter. And we knew as soon as he got his chance that he was going to shine. And the past 2 years, he's done exactly that. And so whenever this year happened and he's had the great year that he's had, no one on our team was surprised because we knew once he got that opportunity, he was going to be lit up on that scene.
Great. Let's just take a second just to step off the football field a bit. Just kind of tell me a little bit about yourself. I mean, tell me maybe what you were able to do there as a student at Appalachian State, maybe what your major was, and anything about yourself that you want to share in this video.
Yeah, being a student at App State is fun. We got all kind of stuff to do. You can go hiking, you can go snowboarding. Um, we got Blue Ridge Mountains. Everything there is awesome. I would tell you my biggest accomplishment, and it's not on the football field. I came here first off to get a degree, and I was the first Thomas in my family to earn a degree of college, and that's probably my biggest accomplishment, just because it's never been done in my family, and that was something that I always wanted to do, and I always prided myself to do that. Was to go to school and get that degree. And so being at App State has been a blessing to me, and it's provided me with so many relationships that I will cherish forever in my life. And so I'm just honored and blessed to be able to come to App State and had a successful career like I've had.
Gotcha. And as we begin to wrap up, man, who are some of those people that you have relationships with that you just kind of want to give a big thank you to? I mean, are there maybe a few guys, mentors, family, friends, coaches, anybody that you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, that's one of the, people ask me that question all the time, and that's probably one of the most difficult questions to ask because I wouldn't be where I'm at today if it wasn't for everyone that's been in my life. First off, my parents and my sibling, my brother, they always pushed me at a younger age because they saw something in me that I didn't see myself. They pushed me to be the best person and best athlete I could be. And throughout high school, I was blessed with great coaches and players in high school. And then when I got to college, I've gone through 3 head coaching changes, but each head coach instilled something in my life that I will forever cherish, whether that's on the field or that's being a man, and throughout the position coaches and everything like that. There's so many people around me, teammates, family members, everything that's around me. They have made me better, a person and better player on the field. And so, I can't tell you one exact person that's exactly helped me. It's just a collect group of everyone that's ever been around me has pushed me to be better.
Awesome. Zac, I always try and ask this question to everybody, even though it's a little corny. Give me your why. What is your motivation? When things are not going right, what's the one thing that you lean on?
Family. Family's everything for me, and I was always taught growing up that family doesn't go anywhere, and those are the people that love you, and those are the people that will always cherish everything that you have to do. And I was always told, you represent what's on the front of your chest, but on the back of your chest on the back of you is really what matters, and that's always your family. So I've always prided myself on and making my family proud, and that they've done a lot of stuff for me, and during the hard times through life they always push me to be better, whether being a better person, being a better man, being a better football player, whatever I was doing in that stage of life, they always pushed me to be better. And so that's my why.
Great. And very final question I have for you, Bud, is give me your pitch to a professional team. Why should they take a chance on you, sign you, bring you into their team? What kind of a teammate would you be for them?
I've already hit on it, but I'm a competitor. If you look back at what I've done here at App and how many games I've won and how many championships not only I've won, but our teammates have won. I've always been the guy that's going to go after and get it. And I always told myself, no matter wherever you get the opportunity, just put your head down and you just keep working. And when I first got here, that's what I told myself I was going to do. And I've accomplished what I wanted to accomplish in college, and I'm a competitor in and out, and whether that's being in the classroom or whether that's being on the football field or the film room or the weight room or wherever I'm at in that stage of life or at that moment in time, you're going to get my best shot and I'm going to compete the best I can and to eventually win over everyone. And so I can go out there and win a lot of games.
Great. Well, I mean, I realize that you're actually going to be attending the College Gridiron Showcase in a couple weeks. So hopefully I'll get a chance to meet you out there. But Zac, I do wish you the best of luck moving forward, bud. Stay safe and healthy, and best of luck to you in this draft season.
Yes, sir. Thank you.